Hey guys, this is Black117 here, and today we'll be going over our BPL Season 4 Week 6 battle as we're up against Luxanse and his man. I keep forgetting names. We just look his team up right now. So, well, anyways, this matchup is like pretty interesting and weird for both of us because on the one hand, he has stuff that he doesn't want to see, he doesn't want me to see, and I have stuff that he like. Well, we both have threats. That's the whole pain of the that's the whole pain right there. So I think this game I decided to be a little more quirky when we prep, and obviously there's the Toxapex right there, and I just realized, well, that just shuts down almost half my team. Well, not half because like we literally brought an extra Pokemon right there. So um, Pex is gonna be annoying. Weavile and Glade are gonna be annoying. Uh, I just didn't know whether he was just gonna be very defensive or very offensive, and I think he was gonna be. I think this. I decided to play this game more offensively than usual, and pretty much this is the result of it. So for this battle, we have Rocks with Arrow, with Roost. I think I only had Roost. I only added Roost as a way to like take hits from like a Scarf Porygon-Z if it's locked into normal any normal moves. But I was debating between Earthquake or like a Roost, and I just ended up having a moveset of like Wing Attack, like an Ice Fang or something weird. I think it was just like it was a very convoluted set. I'll admit. And for like I think we brought the same Entei set as before. So I really wanted to bring Choice Band, but I was like, Pex and Meltank were gonna wall the shit out of me, so I just brought Howl just to be more diverse. At least so Valley's here again because again, T spikes are really annoying for my team, but and I don't want that to ruin like half the other strats I have, which is Suicune's, Entei, and Prim, and also I guess Mew. But like I need like Sylvalet to do its job, basically speaking. It has T-Wave, and the thing about T-Wave is that it's very spammable versus his team, especially if he didn't bring like Gligar. So the idea was just to T-Wave spam until like we could just slow things down. And we have like Suicune, which is like pretty much sub Calm Mind. I almost thought about not bringing it at all, but I was like, you know what? I'll just bring it because why not? So it's like the only other good Pokemon that I can think of. And Primarina and Mew, which are like probably the two weird sets I had brought this whole season. Primarina is like Whirlpool Perish Trap with Rest, and designed to kill like Pex or Meltank. Also kind of beat Corviknight if it's like bulk up. But that's the whole idea of Prim, because Prim is just like I could have brought it with Calm Mind or Specs, but I was like, I don't like Pex at all, and I just want to get rid of it ASAP. Then Mew is a weird set. This time I'm bringing Dragon Dance, and with Life Orb, and the set Psychic Fangs, Drain Punch, Dragon Dance of course, and Spikes. And the whole point of this set is just a set of spikes. No, I'm not even kidding. That's literally the point. Pretty much the Dragon Dance and Spike up immediately. Yeah, that's the greatest play of all time. So, I mean, I thought that if I could like set up like a couple of spikes or even like all three layers, especially in this game, like since you brought a lot of grounded Pokemon, I could just like really punish his team around unless he like has boots on everything. But then again, I'd rather face a team that's boots on everything because that means they don't have an item really that's like offensive. So anyways, for Lex's team, he has Glade, Porygon-Z, Pex, Weavile, Decidueye, and Meltank. Of course, other hits that he could have brought were Corviknight, Alcremie, which is like a non-factor if you ask me, Typhlosion, Gligar, and Gudra. Typhlosion was more. I thought Corviknight and Typhlosion would be brought. No, no, I think it was Gligar. Typhlosion was kind of like a hit or miss in my opinion because I have like two water types and an Aerodactyl and a fire type. And then I think it was more so Gligar because like it just stops the whole T-Wave spam. I literally had to like tech Ice Beam on the Valley last minute, so yeah. Anyways, he goes to Hilda, the Miltank, as I go into my Entei, or Gangrene, aka the voice of Yugi. So already we have a batch. Like as I always like get these bad leads. Then again, like I say I get my leads good on like let's say like 25% of the time favorable matchups, whereas like 75% or more or less I have to like I'm already at the back. So I guess this is one of those times where I feel like I'm at the back. So yeah. So here I'm gonna go to Mew as he goes for rocks, and I'm gonna just start Dragon Dancing. I'm just like, you know what? At this point, I am just going to like just go for my Dragon Dance. And I know it sounds like pretty stupid, and the reason why I did this is because I kind of wanted to see what the hell he wanted to do. If he goes hard Gallade, or if he goes like hard like Decidueye. Because this Mew with Adamant Life Orb should be able to kill Decidueye and Gallade and chunk Gallade significantly down. And it just comes down to whether or not like, I want to let's say like it comes down to whether or not like I view either of those as a threat. So, and the reason why I Dragon Dance there is because like or I hard switch because I've been bringing like defensive Mews all season and decided maybe just bring offensive, and maybe he tries to toxic me and then I could synchronize that back, and that's already like he's already doing half the work for me for already. So now I'm just gonna start spiking up. So and I'm gonna get chipped. I'm gonna get chipped somewhat considerably. So I'm just gonna recover back some HP, and I get very lucky and get like a crit there. I honestly shouldn't be like. He probably should have had an extra turn to live. So here he has to go hard into like Pex as I go for Drain Punch. So that's very unfortunate on his end. So here I'm just gonna go for my last Slayer or for one more Spike. By the way, I just noticed that there isn't like a. There's two spikes. I don't know what if you guys can see that, but you can see the rocks on my side, hopefully. But there's just no spikes there. Or is there? I'm not so sure. Maybe it's like Showdown just glitching out, so I do have like 4 tabs on, so yeah. With my team and like this song being on loop on YouTube, so anyways, I have a Silvally come out, and I'm like, alright, something's getting T-Waved. Something is getting T-Waved, and I paralyzed this thing, because why not? So, here I'm just going for Parting Shot, just weaken this thing significantly. I'm gonna go to Prim, as he is paralyzed, so I'm like, cool. And I'm just gonna go for a Moonblast, see if he switches out. I got a useless crit, and he gets a crit and a poison. I'm like, oh hell no. And I'm like, I have to like rest up immediately. At this point I'm like very annoyed with this because now I have to like switch out. I'm gonna go for Silvally. I have to go back to Silvally immediately as he goes to Claude. So I'm just gonna go for a multi-attack as he just goes for Nasty Plot. And I'm like, what? Like, and I'm like, what the hell? So, Nasty Plot's like a very like weird set for me. I thought he'd be like SD. But this is like definitely new. But the thing is, I am faster than him, and I do like, oh, I moved it a little bit, so sorry about that. I was just trying to like fix something. So basically, like what I'm saying is, this is a 2-shot. So At this point, I'm just gonna click multi-attack as he goes back to Pex. And at this point, I'm like, alright, I gotta get up rock somehow. Because this will, like, be very useful long term. So I'm just gonna go make a very risky play and just go hard arrow. As he just goes for knockoff. And yeah, those spikes are not there. They're invisible. And here I'm just gonna go for... Okay, the rocks are there, but not the spikes. What's up with this showdown today? So, anyways, I'm able to get up like my rocks, which will work in tandem with spikes really well. So now I'm just gonna get rid of Claude, which is the wing attack. So at this point, he's gonna go for Porygon-Z, and I'm already suspecting this is Scarfed. So I'm already taking a lot of damage from this guy more than I should. So here I'm just gonna go for my multi attack. I just want to weaken this thing as much as I can, and I'm just going for parting shot. And I have noticed this thing has 3 attacking moves, so I'm wondering whether this thing is recover. And he has Icy Wind. I'm like, what the hell? And at this point, I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? Like, is that like AV or something? So I'm decided, you know what? I'm just gonna like sub up right now. And here, this is where the game is pretty much decided, in my opinion. Like whether this guy has, because Gallade can have like a fuck ton of like coverage options between Encore, which I really hope he doesn't have, or like SD, or even Parasong. I don't know if it has Parasong, but it has Destiny Bond or something like that. So yeah. So he's gonna make it up, as he's gonna have a sub of his own, as I'm gonna go for Shadow Ball. And I think he wanted to set up on me using that, so he goes for Drain Punch. And that's actually huge, because the fact that this Drain Punch doesn't kill, or the sub, is, I think that was huge. I think that had to be a roll. Since I was like, I'm kind of near max defense, but I do have some speed investment, so, but that survival on the sub is huge. Since now I can just, I'll take him more time to like, get rid of me. So now I'm just gonna go for another a Shadow Ball, and I'm like almost back to near HP. So it does 22%, and I'm like, oh, that's huge, because now I'm like able to 1v1 this Gallade. So he goes for knockoff. Also, I noticed that he has boots on this thing, so I'm just gonna go for like Scald, hoping to get a burn. And I think at this point, like, I don't think he goes for SD. I don't think he has it. If he would have went for it right there. So here I just go for Calm Mind. I think that was kind of a dumb play on my end. I just want to get rid of the Weavile ASAP. But yeah, so I'm getting rid of this Felix there. So here we're dealing with this weird Pex with 4 attacking move slots. And I do get a Spadef like drop there. So yeah, pretty good. Here I decide to like, I think I go for I should have roosted, honestly. I made kind of a dumb play, and I should have just roosted, because I could have been at like max HP. Like, even if as you'll see, he's gonna have Uproar. So this is what I mean. Like, I want to explain that. I should have probably roosted. That way, I would have had more than enough HP to like take on the Porygon-Z, and he'd be like forced to lock himself into, like, let's say a normal move or an electric move, which would be huge versus like Entei or like. But then again, Primarina I think has only like left only 0 turns, which is like, well, it's basically dead at this point. So either way, like, I would have been able to chip this thing down with Arrow. That was my hope, is to chip this thing down with Arrow, be at like around near max HP, and have Entei just kill it off with like E-Speed, and then it would have been like Prim versus like Primarina beats like Pex in a 1v1. So yeah, and I still have Still Valley to like parting shot around. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see whether we're able to win this game, because now it just comes down to if we live this Uproar. We know that this thing is scarfed, so we're just gonna go for the E-Speed and see. And Uproar doesn't OHKO us, so that's huge. And we just win the game, so yeah. So GG's to Luxanse, as we now go into this season with a commanding 6-0. So, like I was saying, like I was just like I just thought of that right now. Like I should have probably roosted with like arrow and take advantage of like setting up on it on the pecs. That way, at least I would have been able to deal with pecs somehow, or be able to get a little bit of chip damage onto the Porygon-Z in case it was in fact um say like you know it was scarfed into like uproar and that or try attack, but uproar works because it's basically like outrage, but it doesn't have the same power, but just it's basically locking yourself into that move. But yeah. Anyways, I think what really came down, what I think the spikes, even though you don't see them, like I think what really helped me was like having those spikes up, being able to chip down his entire team, especially like Porygon-Z, and being able to deal with Pex was also huge, even though it wasn't like the traditional Toxapex set. Yeah, I think this game was just weird overall in general. Like, um, like I got lucky getting the crit on the Meltank, and he got lucky well critting my Primarina. So yeah, guess that evened out there. I think like thinking back, I should have definitely preserved like I should have tried at least like well I don't know what I could have done better because I think the only way I would have done better in this game was if I just stayed in with Arrow against Toxapex in the last couple turns there and just try and like get up to near HP. That way, yeah, he doesn't have any recovery. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't have any recovery, and he's paralyzed. So I could just slowly chip him down, and with wing attack. And at some point, I should win that exchange. And he can't lock at that point. He can't lock himself into uproar. If he does lock himself into say Thunderbolt, I would at least have like a significant amount of HP investment to take with me maybe like one T-Bolt or even like Intake for sure takes this very well unless he like gets like T-Bolt paras. But by then the game's over because I just click E-Speed. And if I do happen to survive or he locks himself into Uproar, all I do is just click like Wing Attack, just get a little bit of chip. That's all I need, and that's it. So I just needed that 7%. So yeah. So, so that's all I have to say. So, anyways, GG's to Lux, and we are out of here. So, have yourself a good day. So.